Sure. So we have been having more than conversations, active negotiations where Caribbean Airlines is concerned. And we have finally begun to see some movement. And that movement is going to result in some additional direct flights coming to Tobago from new source markets. And we are actually pushing for those direct flights to begin from as early as towards the end of next month. But a final date will be announced um, by the Minister of Transportation and myself after we finalize the arrangements. So I don't want to give a date and we are unable to meet that date. Um, of course, well, I can tell you though that the negotiations and more than negotiations, where we're at is direct flights coming from Toronto to Tobago. So that should be onboarded soon. We also looking at Ogle in Guyana to Tobago. We are also looking at Miami direct to Tobago. So all of these additional direct flights with CAL, and then we are very advanced in some negotiations with some additional airlines for additional North American direct flights to Tobago. So what we are essentially doing is opening Tobago to the North American market. We recognize that when we look at tourism in the Caribbean, that North America makes up a substantial part of the source market, as opposed to the traditional UK and European market that Tobago has been stuck in for a very long time. So we are in the process of opening Tobago to North America particularly, and to at least one new destination in the Caribbean. Those conversations are advanced. And when I say advanced, they're advanced to the point that the funding for the marketing and so on of those flights have already been released to TTAL, released since the month of May. So that's how advanced those are. But I await some directives from the Minister of Transportation, who now has responsibility for Caribbean Airlines, so that we can close this arrangement. When that happens, more than likely we will jointly announce the date of those arrangements. But that will certainly help. Let me add in the mix, I saw an article, I believe it was sometime over this weekend, where some visitors writing in the newspaper were complaining bitterly about the quality of the accommodation on island. They impress us always with our natural beauty, but the quality of the accommodation has been a long-standing issue. And if we are to be competitive, then we must be honest that Tobago does not at this time possess any 4 or 5-star resorts. And even if we want to remain small, boutique in nature in terms of the hotel types, we have to definitely do some work on the quality of rooms. If we should run a check, and I'll probably have somebody run a check, have the secretary run a check before the presentation on Thursday, to see how much money the THA has historically spent on these grant funding for upgrades to hotel rooms. And if we count the amount spent in grants, and then we compare that with the quality of rooms we do have now, then we have to pivot and admit that that strategy did not work insofar as improving the quality of the room stock. So tourism is a complex thing and it requires several moving parts. So the airlift is one, quality of room is the other, customer service is the third. Former Secretary Boris started a program where they were aiming to train about 5,000 Tobagonians in customer service in conjunction with THTI. That is ongoing. So we are working on that.